What will happen if I strike a baseball? It will first go high up and then fall to the ground because of the gravity. But why doesn't it fall to the ground immediately? Why it stays in the air for some time? There is a common misconception. People believe that a baseball keeps going after being struck because there's a force of the throw keeps it in motion. People often believe that this force of the throw seemingly wears off over time. However, it doesn't actually exist. What exists is inertia. Inertia is not a force, it is just a tendency that keeps the object remain still or continue moving the way as it did before. There are always forces upon all objects. Friction, air resistance, or anything that has a direct contact with the object will cast a force upon it. So we came up with the idea, if there's no force upon the object, what will happen then? In the screen, the wooden block is still because there's no force upon it. We've already seen what happens if there's no force upon a still object. Then what will happen if there's no force upon a moving object? We've got this. There are 4 different surfaces made of different fabric. We put a wooden block on it and use the pendulum to strike it to see what will happen. We release the pendulum at the same height every time so that the force given upon the motionless brick is the same all 4 times. As we can see, when there's less friction to stop the wooden block, it will travel further. If we put these 4 into one diagram, it will look like this. Then we got an air track. The little black block is floating on the air cushions on the car, so there's almost no friction in between. Again, the pendulum is being set up to the same height, so it's giving the same force upon the block. As we can see, once the air car is given momentum, it keeps moving on its cushion of air because of inertia. There's no significant outside force to stop it. If we put this into the diagram as well, it will look like this. In conclusion, if there's no external force is given, the object will remain at rest or remain in a uniform motion in a straight line unless there's an external force. This is called Newton's first law. An object will remain at rest or in uniform motion in a straight line unless acted upon by an external force. It may seem as a statement about inertia, that the object will remain in a state of motion unless a force acts to change the motion. Any change in motion involves an acceleration, and then Newton's second law applies. In fact, the first law is just a special case of the second law, of which the net internal force is 0. So if you are interested in the Newton's first law, try to learn the second law by yourself. Believe me, it is interesting to discover the physics around us.